Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Jess Piper, the Dirt Road Democrat, you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get the hell off the screen and let her explain what she needs to explain.
Let me spill some tea about a town you have never heard of in Missouri. It's called St. Joseph. St. Joseph school board members say a national Christian group is fueling a harassment campaign. Now, full disclosure, I know both of the school board members who have been harassed, and I've also had run-ins with the organization who is harassing them. They're called the Herzog Foundation. So the Herzogs are a family that own a construction business in Missouri, and they're millionaires. The owner died a few years ago, and he left his money, millions of dollars, to be put into something called the Herzog Foundation, which was an organization to defund public schools and send money to private religious schools. And to tell the truth, it's working out for them. I think they got over $16 million to hand out to private religious schools last year. But back to the harassment. There are 2 school board employees that the Herzog Foundation does not want on the St. Joseph School Board. It's Whitney Lanning and LaTanya Williams. Both of them are pretty progressive women. I mean, they believe in terrible things like feeding kids, public education, LGBTQ rights, the gamut. But these 2 school board members will not toe the line. And the Herzogs are known for giving millions of dollars to Republican candidates. And the Herzogs have also backed 3 other people who are currently on the St. Joseph School Board. And a big part of this story is the Herzogs actually employ a state representative. They employ him full-time, and part-time he goes down to Jeff City and he writes laws to defund public schools, which, helps them and seems like a conflict of interest, but what do I know? Besides that guy, they have also funded a state senator who is my state senator named Rusty Black and another one named Tony Luetkemeyer. Now, because those 2 board members wouldn't do what the Herzogs wanted them to do, the Herzogs had their state senators write a bill to defund the nonprofits that those 2 school board members worked for. Whitney Lanning, one of the school board members, was fired from her job because they wrote a bill defunding one nonprofit in the state, and it was hers. So they had to let her go because they were going to lose their entire nonprofit. Whitney found another job with another nonprofit. Guess what those lawmakers did? They threatened to pull their funding, and she lost her job again. Now, they tried to do the same exact thing to the other board member, LaTanya Williams. However, she didn't lose her job. But this is what happens when millionaires are trying to defund schools in these red states. They own the lawmakers. They own the people who are writing bills in the state. It's a massive conflict of interest that no one is willing to do anything about. And now I'm free to talk about it because someone else has done the work and written it up for NPR and KCUR. Otherwise, I'd be getting a letter in the mail. And trust me, I've had a letter in the mail. You can go to KCUR and read this story for yourself. It's really long, it's really involved, but everyone needs to know this story. If you live in St. Joseph, Missouri, understand that your school board is under attack from millionaires who want to strip money from the school and send it to private religious schools.